Alright, so just before we head in and do some sweep action with the boy TOJI, of course, the lineup and with the addition of the yellow typing, it's more firepower that has been added, as you guys can see. I've just kind of picked out the main yellow typing in terms of DP. I mean, to be fair, Megumi also has power behind his ultimate, so I feel like Megumi should low-key kind of also be like an option in terms of the power that he can push out. It's okay, but essentially this is a bit of a lineup. Again, you can choose on whether or not if you want to throw Megumi in here, but yellow typing, even before TOJI released, had some good firepower. I mean, Gojo to this day is still a phenomenal character. I am hoping that we get his potential system unlocked. That'll be amazing whenever that chooses to happen. But for the most part, yellow typing was doing decently well. But with where things were leading to, with the upcoming Spirit TOJI, of course, we knew it was going to either be yellow or blue. Obviously, I thought it was going to be blue, but I was really hoping for it to be yellow. It became yellow, and now we're having an absolute blast of a time, of course. And with him releasing, it is truly a comparison between the two boys, being the first year anniversary Itadori, along with the current unit that has just dropped, being the Spirit TOJI, of course, due to the whole Taijutsu factor of things, of course. So there is that to take into consideration. But there are some key things about each unit that kind of separates them on why they're kind of having that advantage play one over the other. But ultimately, I think that you guys know where we're going to go with this. But with all of that, and again, considering with where Global stands, because of course Global is still yet to receive this unit, we're getting close to the anniversary, so, you know, things are going to interfere. Choices will need to be made on what to prioritize, and again, it is clear as day that you want to prioritize anniversary, because as I've said it before and I'll say it again, every time JJK Phantom Parade does a anniversary, the anniversary characters are broken, busted game changers. Last year was a game changer. You know damn well for the second year anniversary for this year, it's going to be a game changer. So you want to prioritize game changers, and anniversary big celebration times are always game changers. Anyway, let's get some sweep action going on. Alright, so we're gonna take this team. Gotta do it, father and son. Oh, it's so fitting to see Megumi just... Oh, I'm happy that it's yellow typing, I'll say that. I'm very happy that it's yellow typing. Of course, Gojo in the back, gotta make it make sense. But anyway, coming back to the man of the hour, being the Spirit TOJI himself. Just kind of get into it, you know, is he worth pulling for? I mean, well, that's just kind of a stupid question to ask. I mean, of course, he's kind of worth pulling for. I mean, the developers aren't going to release a character and be like, yeah, there's no point summoning from guys, you guys can chill. With the way that he's built and the way that he works in terms of, you know, all that he can buff himself up with and what you can stack, ultimately his damage output is going to be disgustingly high. That's just a given. And so incentive comparing it with the other yellow typings that we have in the game itself, as I showed you at the very beginning, TOJI has that advantage play over them. From that, of course, with the stacking ability when he's using his first skill, second skill, third skill, because of course it gives him, was it a 4.5 increase in physical, you can cap it at 30, which then give him 160, and of course if you are applying that second skill once you're in that form that he's on, that I'm in right now, obviously the more that we apply that DOT, it gets an increase of 20%, so ultimately we're doing more damage. If you keep up with that second skill leading the ultimate, then again the damage output is going to be disgustingly high. So there are key things for this TOJI right now, as I've said and as I've mentioned. He has the upper hand. He has the upper hand. Now, is it a full-on chase? Because at the end of the day, as I've said, you know, you kind of want to be more prepared on the bigger picture, aka the anniversary. We're so close, and of course the developers are going to be pulling out some favorites to get people to summon, so that way during the anniversary they can make the most possible. But TOJI, on the other hand, being in the yellow typing, it kind of eases up your options to be like, I think I'll stick with Itadori. I think I'll stick with Gojo, and that is more than like in terms of where the content is at right now. It's still feasible with the current yellow typing that we have outside of TOJI. TOJI now make things a lot easier, I will say, in terms of, again, with the DOT play, with him doing more damage, because you've got to keep in mind with his passive providing him that survivability, and of course with that break increase, which is again in certain more difficult content that we have had recently, breakage has been a key thing in certain fights. For him to have that on his second skill is very, very clutch. So 10 mil right there, very easy. I don't think I've fully stacked up Megami right now, because yeah, I still had one defense drop, so that would have easily shot up to like 15-16 mil ult drop right there, which is pretty disgusting. And that DOT play would have been, you know, doing its thing as per usual, but unfortunately we're in the third phase, and whatever you do on the second phase doesn't carry over, unfortunately. But anyway, coming back to my reasoning with yeah, with where the content is at, yeah, TOJI right now is just kind of manhandling things, especially in the more higher upper floor, 60 to 80. He's really just kind of doing his thing, should I say. I think floor 65 or 66 is pretty tough, because that requires breakage, and TOJI just kind of stomps through that. I might have to record a video on that, actually. That might be a good idea. So yeah, there are key things about this man where he just offers a variety of things, just kind of ticking off the box with one character. But with Itadori, he's still a fantastic, strong character. You can still utilize him, and so that's kind of one of the big reasons why I say that with the release of the Spirit TOJI, that I don't class him as a chase character. You can still utilize and get the job done with 0.5 year anniversary Gojo. I mean, well, it's not free, but you can buy him in the shop, so you can actually dupe him out and get the best out of him. First year anniversary, Itadori is still doing his thing. I mean, of course, Curse Energy is going to be a bit of a play there, but with that Itadori, you've got to keep in mind with the crits and the black flash increase that he can give himself, so that way you can always get that increase of damage, and obviously the 2 steps that he applies. He'll always have that as his advantage play. But when it comes to the TOJI, he builds damage over time. He does more damage. That DOT play is disgusting. You can build off from that to do more damage. His ultimate hits disgustingly hard. He gets a breakage advantage to where you kind of break the enemy's shield down a lot sooner the more you just consistently apply it, so that break support is there. The only issue that I've got realistically with this TOJI, if I'm being genuinely honest, is that if you got a short-term fight, not the best, because again, you want to stack as much as you can to get the best out of this man to do as much damage as possible. So in a short-term fight, not the best. Itadori will come in play and kind of be the best at that, right? Because in a short-term fight, he can kind of get the job done, get multiple hits going in. So, you know, he's got his advantage play. He can also stick it with the longevity too, but TOJI just has that survivability play and that increase of damage, of course. And I guess autoplay is also something that that is to be spoken about. Unfortunately, with the autoplay for this TOJI, it's probably, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst, but it's pretty bad, because unfortunately the AI prioritizes the third skill, which is disgustingly horrendously bad. Like that, because this TOJI has a strategic play that you have to follow to build him up correctly, so that way you can maximize and get the best of the damage off. Unfortunately, when it's on auto, it prioritizes the third skill, which only gives you 1 stack, and it's just bare damage. There's no bonus in terms of removing the debuff or anything like that. So, yeah, on the autoplay, pretty bad. Pretty much to end it off, boys. Yeah, TOJI is definitely one of the best yellow typing DPS that we have right now, with what he's capable of accomplishing, which is phenomenal. However, in no way does he replace the yellow typing DPS wise on what we've got. So again, that eases off to what you guys want to chase for and what you guys want to prepare for. So again, I feel like most are right now are just kind of, you know, getting ready for anniversary. If TOJI is your fan favorite of a character, then I wish you all the best of luck. Again, he is one of the best yellow DPS units that we have right now. His damage output far exceeds, I will say that. However, he isn't game breaking. He isn't game breaking. Game breaking is during the anniversary. So again, just depends on when Global gets him. But he's a phenomenal character, but he's not game breaking. I think that's kind of like the best I can put it. He doesn't replace any of the other yellow typing characters. However, if I had to structure it in a way, TOJI definitely is like ranked up there in terms of with what we can build off from in damage wise, of course. It's just unfortunate in the auto perspective. He's pretty low, unfortunately, because the AI is stupid, we'll say that. Manually though, this man is a behemoth of a character. But with all that being said, is he worth summoning? Should you spend your currency? If you're free to play, if you're a dolphin, I would say wait for anniversary. If you're a whale, enjoy. He's an absolute fun character to have, so I wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully you get him soon. Hopefully you get him on your free multi, and that goes for the free-to-play and whatnot. So that's what I would suggest for global and whatnot when this man comes around. But Spirit TOJI, they did decent with him. I was hoping for him to be absolutely busted and broken, but unfortunately he had to drop during the anniversary time in order for that to happen. But for it not to be an anniversary character, he's freaking good. He's top tier, most definitely.